James Demmert is joining me now, founder, chief investment officer, Main Street Research. And this is a conversation place. People are talking to RIAs, wealth managers, asset managers, and talking, of course, about technology. That's your realm. You don't think there's a tech bubble that's ready to burst just yet?
We don't, and this is a room full of a lot of investment opinions, right, with all these advisors that impact. Great to see you, Nicole. Yeah, we think that there is a bubble inflating, but it's got a long way to inflate. So all of this conversation about it's about to pop, we don't think it's there yet.
You gave me a hat that said Dow 100,000. Dow 100,000. How would you like that, folks? I mean, what gets us there?
Well, you know,
do we actually hit that?
I think we do, and I think it's sooner than people expect. I'd say 2030, right? So that's about 5 years from now. And I think investors need to remember, we're only 2.5 years into this business cycle, this bull market. They usually last 7 to 9 years. So we've got a long runway. The big question is, can valuations sort of keep up with the growth rates? That's important. And also let the air out of the bubble once in a while so it can continue to inflate. And I think that's where there's some risk today.
And that's what's happening this week, right? Because we saw NVIDIA, Palantir, AMD, Qualcomm came out with some numbers. So you're okay with a little bit of a pullback, even 10% or more? I mean, that's part of the climb?
We'd even say it's overdue. You know, you've got some headwinds coming towards us this quarter. The Fed probably not going to cut. I think the market would like them to. You got the government shutdown going on longer than expected. You know, earnings come out, and when they beat, they're not as celebrated. Palantir was a good example, which you just brought up. Or AMD misses, and they really took this, the stock to the woodshed.
What do you think of Alex Karp's rebuttal to David Solomon and Ted Pick when they were sort of putting out a cautionary tone and actually named Palantir at one point? He seemed much more positive.
You know, that was entertaining to watch. I mean, Alex Karp is a brilliant guy, and I think he's right now. He's right. I think there will be a time where the shorts will have the opportunity to really make some money. Again, I don't think that's for years. I think the AI cycle is still very early in its evolution.
Jensen Huang was quoted as saying that the AI race, that China will win it because, you know, they've had obviously the limitations on what NVIDIA chips going to China. I think he sort of dialed it back. I heard, I didn't confirm all this, but that he dialed it back when he put something on social media. But his concern is China wins the AI race. What do you think about NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, what's going on in the AI arms race?
Well, you know, there's no question that the spending in the AI, it continues to exceed all expectations. And we think that will continue. It is an arms race, and if you're a Meta or a Google, you need to stay competitive. You've got to spend more than your competitors. So, and that's exactly what makes these technological sort of revolutions have so much leg. And we're again still early. And I think Jensen's has a very good point. We need to do a lot of business with China, in China, and those regulations, those tariffs, we need to make a better deal.
So your, goals, when you look at some of the strategy for, you had 100,000 on the Dow, S&P year-end target 7,100, 2026 target 8,100. These tech names, 10, 20, 30% room to the upside in the year or 2, 3 ahead?
Yeah, you know, I think that people think they've gone too far, the bubble's about to burst. But keep in mind, you know, a lot of these stocks that are the Mag 7, that are driving indexes, are trading at PE multiples that are still less than their growth rates.
Do you buy on dips?
You buy them on the dips, and I think we might have a dip. I would go after the Mag 7 on a dip, and I think investors should be ready. Those declines in a normal correction are going to be startling. They're going to fall 10, 15, 20%. You want to buy those if you don't own them. I don't think I'd sell ahead of it, but as you know, we're a global investor. You want to also, outside of that, have foreign stocks to have a better valuation.
Tell me about that.
Well, you know, Cole, valuations outside the U.S. are about half, right? PE ratios are 15 versus 23. There's a lot of fiscal spending overseas since the U.S. withdrew. And a lot of investors don't realize this, but stocks outside the U.S. are up 28% this year versus 14 for the S&P. So that's already begun. Investors in general are underinvested in foreign stocks. They've neglected them for years. So we think there's going to be a mad rush in 2026 towards foreign stocks.
So the idea here is to take advantage of the dips, and tech still is the leader. Is that the driver? Is the catalyst some of the circular spending? I mean, there was some concern about OpenAI looking to the government for some backing, but we've seen a lot of the circular funding happening. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, billions and billions and billions going around in a circle. It's not like the old days where venture capitalists would give money and say, I expect return on my investment. This is, I'll give you X billion, and it seems so theoretical. I don't know.
It is not the healthiest thing, and you're seeing it, the trend of that just beginning. In the dot-com bubble, we saw that trend to excessive levels. Right now, it's really just beginning to trend upward. So I don't think investors should use that as, oh, the bubble's about to pop, but that is a symptom that the bubble is being inflated. Again, if we have a normal correction, that will bring that bubble pressure down and allow us to go another leg up. And again, I think this is a number of years ahead.
Yeah, and James, do you look at some of the other sectors? Are they very interesting to you in addition to technology?
Yeah, we are big fans of financials in the United States, the deregulation, the possible Fed rate campaign cutting is really making those stocks rally big. That's the JP Morgans, the whole sector of financials in the U.S. And then outside the U.S., you can almost invest in any sector. If you look at foreign markets, they're broadly rising. You don't just have to own the AI stocks.
Yeah, all right. James Demmert, great to see you. Always love having you on. Founder and Chief Investment Officer, Main Street Research. Thank you, James Demmert.